So, what if I told you that all of our technology, everything from the phone in your hand to the rockets we send to space, was just a watered down version of actual magic? We're about to dive into this totally bizarre and honestly brilliant philosophical dialogue that kicks off with that exact idea. And it all starts in this little shack with a really, really strange experiment. Okay, picture this. You walk into your friend Ed's place late at night, and this is what you see. Just him, standing there, manically flicking a light switch over and over. I mean, it's not exactly your typical Tuesday night, right? And for his friend Emma, this is the beginning of one very weird conversation. So naturally, Emma asks the question we're all thinking. What in the world are you doing? And Ed's answer? Oh, it's a classic. He says he's not just messing with a switch. Nope, he's studying the cornerstone of mankind's civilization, the electric circuit. And you can tell right away he is not impressed with it. At all. Just how unimpressed is he? Well, on a scale of 0 to 9, he gives all of our collective technological achievement a 1. A measly 1. And his reason? He thinks our tech is just a watered-down interpretation of reality. An entire civilization built on a simple on-off, a 0-1 binary? To him, that's not just limited, it's kind of laughable. And to get his point across, he uses this fantastic analogy. He asks, who would you rather face? A swordsman who can level a whole civilization in an instant? Or a mage who can level an entire universe, but, it just takes a little time to cast the spell? Ed's argument is that true power isn't about brute force. It's the subtle, reality-bending influence of the mage. It's not about overpowering reality. It's about rewriting its very rules. This whole idea leads us straight to the core of his worldview. And he's so confident about it, he's actually created his own ranking system for what real power even is. So forget about things like wealth or status. Ed's scale, it's something else entirely. And here it is. This is Ed's hierarchy of true power. You see our technology? Yeah, that's way down at the bottom, rank 1. Quantum tech gets a 2. But then look what he ranks higher. Just surviving without a PC? That's a 3. Mastering time travel's a 4. And then it gets really interesting. Understanding yourself, your own name, your own motivations, that's a rank 5. And all the way up at rank 9, having a full-on conversation with an animal? And when you lay it out like this, you can really see the massive gap in perspective. All of society's effort, all our focus is on chasing that little rank 1 bar. But Ed's telling us the real prize, the real power, is in mastering rank 5 and beyond. It's a complete flip of everything we're told to value. Emma's reaction here is, well, it's probably the same as ours, right? It's a scary thought. If Ed is even close to right, it means most of us are operating on the lowest, most basic levels of this power scale, completely unaware of what's truly possible. She's like our anchor in this sea of bizarre ideas. Emma's reaction, that feeling of being a little unnerved by this whole new perspective, that's exactly what Ed is getting at. And it brings the entire conversation full circle, right back to that light switch. This is where he finally reveals how his grand theory about power connects to something he calls dark element type witchcraft. So Ed turns off the light, plunging the room into darkness, and he asks Emma this crucial question. And she gives the typical answer, casting spells and stuff. But Ed pushes her. He says the real definition, the true essence, is hidden inside the word itself. He breaks down the Doggerel word for witch, which is suhub. He explains it's actually made of 2 words, sup, which means ears, and boop, which means beat. So the literal, almost funny translation is one who beats the ears. And that, right there, turns out to be the key to everything. So what does it all mean? It means witchcraft isn't really about casting spells from some dusty old book. Its true essence is the manipulation of perception. To beat the ears is to trick the senses. It's about controlling what someone sees, what they hear, and ultimately what they believe to be real. And suddenly, that light switch, a simple tool for controlling the sense of sight, makes perfect, brilliant sense. Okay, so this redefines everything. Because if witchcraft is really just a fancy word for deception, well, that means it's something we humans do every single day. And that opens up a fascinating question. To understand this power, you have to understand the philosophy of a lie. Why do people do it? And more importantly, what can a lie tell you about the person telling it? Ed lays out this simple 3-step logic. The goal of any lie is to blind someone to a piece of reality. But here's the absolute genius insight. The secret that a lie is built to hide is always what the liar fears most. Just think about that for a second. It means every deception, big or small, basically contains a roadmap to the deceiver's deepest insecurities. This is what he calls the truth within a lie. And it's a surprisingly practical tool for seeing what's really going on.
All right, enough with the theory. Ed decides it's time for a little practical demonstration to tie it all together. So he tells Emma, in the pitch-black room, to just take a short walk.
And of course, what happens? Emma immediately bumps right into something. And as she's stumbling around, Ed delivers this powerful insight. Turning off the light didn't make the furniture vanish into thin air. It only removed her perception of it. Reality itself was completely unchanged. And this is the final, brilliant point. Manipulating the senses, blinding someone to the truth, it doesn't actually erase the truth. All it does is transform a neutral object, a simple fact of reality, into a dangerous, unseen obstacle. It's the perfect metaphor for the real dangers of ignorance and deception. And as Ed flicks the light back on, he makes this grand, triumphant declaration. In understanding this one simple principle, he believes he's won a major victory against the ultimate deceiver. Which leaves us with a final, pretty provocative thought. How many obstacles in our own lives are only there because someone or something has beaten our senses?